MTC. Day 18, Number 1. It is difficult to know how to determine whether one culture is better than another. What is the cultural rank order of rock, jazz, and classical music? When it comes to public opinion polls about whether cultural changes are for the better or the worse, looking forward would lead to one answer and looking backward would lead to a very different answer. Our children would be horrified if they were told they had to go back to the culture of their grandparents. Our parents would be horrified if they were told they had to participate in the culture of their grandchildren. Humans tend to like what they have grown up in and gotten used to. After a certain age, anxieties arise when sudden cultural changes are coming. Our culture is part of who we are and where we stand, and we don't like to think that who we are and where we stand are short-lived. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 18, Number 2. The basic difference between an AI robot and a normal robot is the ability of the robot and its software to make decisions, and learn and adapt to its environment based on data from its sensors. AI. To be a bit more specific, the normal robot shows deterministic behaviors. That is, for a set of inputs, the robot will always produce the same output. For instance, if faced with the same situation, such as running into an obstacle, then the robot will always do the same thing, such as go around the obstacle to the left. An AI robot, however, can do two things the normal robot cannot: make decisions and learn from experience. AI. It will adapt to circumstances, and may do something different each time a situation is faced. The AI robot may try to push the obstacle out of the way, or make up a new route, or change goals. AI. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 18, Number 3. Most of us have hired many people based on human resources criteria along with some technical and personal information that the boss thought was important. I have found that most people like to hire people just like themselves. This may have worked in the past, but today, with interconnected team processes, we don't want all people who are the same. In a team, some need to be leaders, some need to be doers, some need to provide creative strengths, some need to be inspirers, some need to provide imagination, and so on. In other words, we are looking for a diversified team where members complement one another. When putting together a new team or hiring team members, we need to look at each individual and how he or she fits into the whole of our team objective. The bigger the team, the more possibilities exist for diversity. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 18, Number 4. Clothing doesn't have to be expensive to provide comfort during exercise. Select clothing appropriate for the temperature and environmental conditions in which you will be doing exercise. Clothing that is appropriate for exercise and the season can improve your exercise experience. In warm environments, clothes that have a wicking capacity are helpful in dissipating heat from the body. In contrast, it is best to face cold environments with layers so you can adjust your body temperature to avoid sweating and remain comfortable. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 18, Number 5-6. Researchers brought two groups of 11-year-old boys to a summer camp at Robbers Cave State Park in Oklahoma. 1 Oklahoma Robbers Cave. The boys were strangers to one another and upon arrival at the camp, were randomly separated into two groups. The groups were kept apart for about a week. 1. They swam, camped, and hiked. Each group chose a name for itself, and the boys printed their group's name on their caps and t-shirts. Then the two groups met. A series of athletic competitions were set up between them. Soon, each group considered the other an enemy. Each group came to look down on the other. The boys started food fights and stole various items from members of the other group. Thus, under competitive conditions, the boys quickly drew sharp group boundaries. The researchers next stopped the athletic competitions and created several apparent emergencies whose solution required cooperation between the two groups. One such emergency involved a leak in the pipe supplying water to the camp. The researchers assigned the boys to teams made up of members of both groups. Their job was to look into the pipe and fix the leak. After engaging in several such cooperative activities, the boys started playing together without fighting. Once cooperation replaced competition and the groups stopped to look down on each other, group boundaries melted away as quickly as they had formed. Day 19. MTC. Good.